Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Depends on what everybody is to and where everybody else is to in the world, of course. How is everybody doing? This is the Gamer Smith back once again with basically another trove video, of course. This is my second stream for the day, of course. Trying to actually squeeze in as much as possible of different games and so on and so forth. It's just, like I said, as I said before, there is a lot of trouble I'm after doing over the years, and it's just like, I need to be able to actually have something else different to basically the stream during the day, and so on and so forth, just to see exactly what's out there and whatnot. And I don't mind doing that, just to basically to break the ice a little bit. But now, like I said, I'm not changing my schedule itself to a point, or basically changing the way I'm going to be playing my games. Just that. Like I said, just for today, I wanted to see exactly like I said, even Doom, if it was still alive, and it's not, it seems like it's not doing too well. So, regardless of that, it's just basically to see exactly uh, where things are standing right now. Anywho, I got to find exactly what I need to do here, and let me see. Okay, I need some more fire gem dust. I need a lot of fire gem dust. Yep. So I'm gonna get some more fire. I'm gonna work on that for a bit. Of course, I've already got my PvP and stuff done already because I was like, oh man. Because like I said, the PvP arena is only there during the day, pretty much. And like I said, I've got to grab that when I can because if I don't, I'm just going to be missing that time slot itself. And like I said, you get that done in the early in the morning or just delay that. Just delay. You don't get that done late at night. There's just no way doing it. It's like I said, a lot of people just don't do it late at night. So it's what it is. I can't complain about it. Like I said, at least I get it done before, so I can actually be able to change my change a couple things. Anyway, regardless of that, like I said, going back to doing my stream, as I said, I'll still be doing my daily streams of Trove itself. I try to look at active times and stuff like that. I know that when the active times is and so on and so forth. I'm working on that. So, trying to actually squeeze in as much game time as possible and trying to figure exactly what's going to work with the games I do have. Because, like I said, as I asked before, it's not that people tell me how to stream, but I've got so many games. It's like I said, I don't even know what to do with half of them. That direction. So, it's just something different, something something fresh during the day. Like I said, I might basically be swapping back and forth once in a while just to try different things during the day, at least when it's one of the active times, to see if there's anything left in those games because there are certain games that's after dying out and there's a certain games that's still alive. So like I said, it's just what it is. So like I said, when it comes to that, I don't mind doing that to a point. It's just that like I said, I'm known. I'm known for Trove and stuff like that, and I've been playing it for so long. And like I said, I still love doing streams and stuff like that at Trove. And as I said before, it's just that I gotta try to do something different with it at times. Now that doesn't mean, like I said, my game schedule is going to change. Just my game that I'm going to be playing it might change from time to time. As I said, might take a hit off my channel. That might change something. I don't know. I really don't know how it's going to work right for me. But I'm not complaining about it itself. It's just that I need new content. I need to be able to bring up my YouTube channel a little bit more, and so on and so forth. And that's what I've been doing the last little bit. Is like I said, if you notice, my YouTube channel is not erratic or anything like that. It's just I'll do a bunch of Trove that I'll put in one game, extra game, and I'll basically randomize those games so I can actually have different content in my channel instead of just having one slew of Trove videos and stuff like that. Still, like I said, my Trove is still my main game right now until I get to 1K mastery, and then I'll be able to go from there, you know. And but it takes forever to get that mastery to that point, you know. And I'm so close to it now. Like I said, when it comes to that, like right now, my mastery is pretty high up there. I've got basically 866 mastery. I'm missing so little in the game itself, like when it comes to drops and stuff like that. Like, I mean, it's just one of those things. I'll get there eventually, or basically get a bunch of more mastery as I'm going, just because I'll get it from Paragram or I'll get it from the PvP. Like, I mean, I'm not in no rush to get it from PvP because I know PvP is going to be around for another good bit. But I want to be able to get that done. Someone else got a Gonda. Ooh, nice. That's one thing I don't have right now is a Gonda, which is kind of a letdown to a point. But I'm not too much worried about it. Like I said, there's a lot of other things I need to be able to do first, of course, and working on that. So I've been working on the Solarian right now and working on different things. So as I said before, like when I actually do switch my games and stuff like that, like I said, if I get like I mean I'm just basically trying to do something a little bit different, you know, but not doing something erratic. Like I mean, I'm not going to go along and just say make it that much more of a different game or whatever the case may be, but just taking my time slots that I do have and the times that I'm up and stuff like that. At least until I'm fully recovered anyway, I want to be able to do something a little bit different and so on and so forth. So, like, I mean, it's not going to make my channel, it's going to make me to get my, it's going to make it harder for me to, right now to get my affiliate. I know that's going to be a hit itself. And just because of the fact that a lot of people that do play 12 and stuff like that is usually between 4 and 5 o'clock my time, in most cases. Sometimes I might get lucky with a nighttime stream. I don't know, like I said, when it comes to that. And so on and so forth. So, like I said, I'll be still streaming at the Trove. I'll be able to still be able to stream other games too. Like I said, if this doesn't exactly work right with the recordings, like I said, that's all I'm looking for. I'm just looking for recordings right now, just to make a mix and match. Because you got to remember this. Also, there's more than one type of gamer out there as well, and that's exactly what I look at. And it's basically more to support the other gamers as well. Like, I mean, if I'm actually doing a secret or something some don't know about, or I'll basically mention what a secret is too, just so people can actually go and find it, like in certain areas into the games itself. And like I said, it's just one of those things that I like to be able to do. Like like what I was doing with Doom. I never, like I said, I'm not going to go travel to get all the secrets. I want to finish the game first, then I can go back because I remember where everything is too. It's just that when it comes to getting all the special stuff and whatever the case may be, getting all the runes and stuff like that, like I said, just not hard to do. It's just that it takes time a little bit out of there, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, it's just something I was thinking about doing. Like, I mean, like I said, when it comes to that, like a lot of people right now basically are streaming. Of course, I'm streaming, but that was like that earlier today too. So, like, I mean, it's what it is. I'm not complaining about it. Like, I mean, in that direction, people still get to do what they got to do, you know, and that's exactly what I look at. So, like I said, with the game changes itself, like, I mean, I'm looking at like if it works, it's going to work. Like, I mean, to a point. But I like to be able to still have 4 games that I alternate between. And like right now, I'm actually working on basically Need for Speed Heat. I was just doing basically one of the fun games, of course, of the Hot Wheels, of course, just because it's easy trophies and stuff like that. I look at stuff like that I can actually gain from my own self, like I said, just for getting different things. So, you know, basically, I find that, like I said, just doing the grinder and stuff like that does get a bit boring for me over time. But I don't mind basically to switch up a little tiny bit and doing it that way. Now, like I said, it's what it is. As I said before, sometimes taking a hit in different directions, like sometimes, like I said, if you stream too much of the same thing, you lose a lot of followers. If you do switch over, see, I don't mind doing horror games. I don't mind doing shooter games. I don't mind doing different things. I'm trying to get more games for PC, is what I'm looking at, because, like, I mean, there is so much more diverse, and there's a lot of more free games to a point on PC that will ever be on console. People would be thinking, "Oh my God, I've got PlayStation Plus, I've got all of that," but I could have hundreds and thousands of free games itself just under my fingertips under PC, which no PlayStation Plus could ever touch, and so on and so forth. Like, I mean, if I'm doing like MOBAs, RPGs, or genre games, yeah, these are all free. Like, I mean, there's a lot more diversity and stuff like that on PC. That's one of the reasons why I built a PC, not just for streaming apps and stuff like that, but just to try to get more content out. Because, see, I played so many games and I basically got so much information. It's just, I remember the games that I used to play and how I used to play them, and so on and so forth. And just trying to get back into some of these games again is what I'm trying to do. And like I said, it's just one of those things. Even if I'm only using like the easiest mode just to get myself back into it so I can learn how the mechanics work. Like, but what they did, like, I mean, I was playing, let's say Doom 2016, and it seems like they actually they changed one of the mechanics in the game, which I've got to get used to. Like, I mean, it seems like they actually updated something that allows you to only have certain amount of guns when you actually open up a new area. Or, like, I mean, I was just trying to see if it was actually my controller. But I know I've got a brand new controller. Like, I mean, I don't have stick drift. I don't have any problems with it for other games. So I'm like, okay, there's something got to be wrong here, you know? And that's exactly what I look at. So, yeah, it's just something that I was thinking of itself overall and trying to figure out exactly what to do with that. Like, I mean, I'm not using... Peanut, how are you doing, my friend? And welcome to the stream, of course. How is the... how is the allergy doing? No, just kidding. But some people do have peanut butter allergies, sadly. But it tastes so good. I love peanut butter and jelly. I will tell you that. Like I said, it just that the only thing is with peanut butter, it sticks to the roof of your mouth if you eat too much of it. Or the best way of actually stopping that is just adding just a little bit of extra butter. Like, I mean, just before, after you're toasting something, and it'll slow it down from sticking so much. But yeah, just a little trick there. But anyway, regardless of that, like I said, how are you doing tonight, my friend? And like I said, hopefully you're doing well, of course. Just basically doing a trove grind, of course, once again. Like I said, as I said before, and I said that many times on my channel, or actually a couple of times, not a lot, but I said, I don't mind playing shooter games. I don't mind, I know how to do it. Right now, I'm actually getting back into Doom. I'm actually using the easiest mode possible for that. Like I said, I'm just trying to get back into the mechanics to see what they changed in the game and stuff like that, so I can go back to a hardcore, or basically nightmare, or whatever. I have all the modes unlocked. I've got everything done that way. So it just gives me something more to look forward to when I actually do gaming and stuff, and gives me a challenge. I know that challenge is still there if I want to actually do it. And yes, I am that good with the game. It's just I want to see if there was a hot fix or patches or anything. See, you got to remember, I never played that game since 2019, to be exact. And then I streamed it once right at the very beginning. But see, the very beginning doesn't tell me much. So as I'm getting deeper and deeper into the game, it tells me what if there was any changes or whatever the case be into the game. So, like, I mean, that's why I'm actually doing what I'm doing right now. Like, I mean, I'm switching up and try to make that more. Yeah. Which game? Which game are you talking about? Are you talking about Doom or are you talking about what? Um, because like I said, I love horror games. I love horror games. I love. I'm going to be getting Fatal Frame when it comes out, dude. Oh, oh yes. Yes, that actually is. It looks like a fun horror. That looks like a fun horror game. But you know something? I'm looking at Fatal Frame when it comes out into 2023. I was a great good fan of that when it was there, uh, and so on and so forth. Like, I mean, I played so many different horror genre games. I used to be a horror genre buff at one point, but see, I can't get into Dead by Daylight. There's something about the game itself. I don't. It's just it's about putting people on hooks, and it's so basic. I mean, yes, there's a lot of people play it. I can't see there's anything wrong with the game. But what I'm saying is, I love going into a room that will basically give me the. It almost makes me feel like I want to basically shit my pants, to say, or basically make me think of something and it's not even there. That is type of games I love doing. Like, I mean, I like to be able to get. Like, I mean, I watched when I was a kid. I watched all the Freddy and Friday the 13th movies and stuff like that, and I enjoyed them immensely. Like, I mean, and the funniest thing is, like, I mean, I look at the games itself. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the players that play them. It's just that it is not enough meat into the game. I've got to be able to get into the game to actually sit down and enjoy it. Like I said, that's why I enjoy playing Doom and stuff like that, because it's a game. It's like you go along, kill things, you still can have that or genre feel to it, and so on and so forth. Now, you know there's not going to be too many jump scares and stuff like that into it, and so on and so forth, but it's still not too bad of a game. And it's not cartoonish or anything like that, and it's still a blood horror game, and I would say blood horror game instead of just. Like, I mean, if you hang on a hook, it's got a little bit of blood into it, or whatever the case may be, like Dead by Daylight that's done. It's just that, like, I mean, you do the same thing over and over and over. And it just gets, like, I mean, you can't even, to me, you can't even build up your skills. All you do is just running around, and hopefully you can stay alive. And that's exactly why I look at the game. And that's why I started playing it, and I was like, no. Like, I mean, I've got a couple of games now coming up in the future that I'm going to be posting on my channel. That's going to be, people are going to be like, oh my God, really? And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to be able to get 2 games. That is going to be, I want to be able to get Fatal Frame, which is basically a classic from PlayStation 2. And there's another PlayStation 3 game I want to get too. That's Dead Space. Dead Space is a really good horror game as well. Like I said, if you never played Fatal Frame back in PlayStation 2, don't worry about it. Like, I mean, and I don't know what the game is. Basically, check on YouTube on it. You will actually be floored. Well, basically, you're basically this young girl, and I'll give you the basis. I'm not going to give you no spoilers. I mean, I can't give that you got gamers spoilers, but I'll tell you the part of the story, so you understand when you actually, if you ever decide to get the game or whatever, You're this young girl going around with a camera in haunted places. You got to basically kill the bosses and stuff like that. You'll see basically things move around in the room. You'll see different things. And I will tell you, even when I was actually first started playing it, I was like, oh my God, this game is... yeah. And even when PlayStation 2, even though it didn't have the great graphics like what the new consoles is and stuff like that, it was like, yeah, it was like, I don't know how can I explain it? I don't know if, I would love to see Silent Hill as well and remastered. Silent Hill, basically got Resident Evil started with some of the remaster, but it's not enough to go along and just pick it up. Yes, I could download an emulation for PlayStation 2 and download Fatal Frame, but it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same because even the controls don't even feel right for it. I tried to actually download it before. Now I can actually download an older version of it, and it doesn't look right. But I want to wait for the remaster to come in 2023. And that's going to come in the first or second month of 2023. So it's only right around the corner. And that's exactly what I want to look at. I want to look at all these old games that basically make your skin crawl when you actually play them. It's not just like watching a fence pop open or anything like that. That is more typical. But something that you cannot see. Something you cannot... You feel the presence to a point, but you can't see the presence. That's exactly what I'm looking at. Plus, right now, I'm actually looking at trying to get a new headset and everything for PlayStation. Not for PlayStation. Basically for my computer, too. That's another reason. I've got one horror game right now downloaded, and I've also got Valheim. As I mentioned before, Valheim is another survival game. It's kind of like Minecraft, but it's a lot more mechanics in it. You got to be able to basically learning a new mechanic system. And that's exactly what I'm going to be playing as well once I get a new headset. I get a small character build up right now just to start off, but it's going to take me months to play it. And this is what I'm looking at too. Just to basically to give myself some PC time and also be able to use just a console as well. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to do in the future, but I want to be able to not convert completely to the PC, but to actually do something different. And that's exactly what I said before when it comes to the way I'm running my channel itself. I just want to do something different. There's something that a lot of people don't have a chance of doing, or just don't have the time to do. I love to be able to go along and have my PC just for the horror games because there's so many different ones out there. Like I said, when I get a better mic, because my camera, I do have a 1080p camera, a Logitech, which is really good, but it picks up all the sounds around me. So, yes, I'm starting on not a 4K camera, but a 1080p and 4K. Basically, Twitch is only going to go 1080p anyway. It doesn't go to 4K as of yet. So, I'm only dealing with what the software is out there right now at the maximum. So, that's exactly what I'm looking at right now. So, I'm not going to, even with a 4K camera, I'm not going to see myself having better graphics. Not as of right now, not with the streaming software. Now, some people boast that they can do in 4K, but I don't know what software actually does 4K. I know you can record with, not OBS, but with different software. You can actually record your videos and stuff like that in 4K. And then you can post them up on YouTube and stuff as 4K. But the software and stuff like that just currently out there that people use for gaming and stuff, it doesn't have the 4K capabilities yet. I can't wait till that changes. That would be absolutely really nice to do too, and not really nice to see, because like I said, then I'll actually upgrade my cameras for that software. So that's exactly what I want to do. Like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I want to do in the future. Like, I mean, I've got a good few years before my computer actually dies out. I want to be able to do that as much so I can actually be able to do better stuff. And I'll be able to do better quality stuff, too. Like, I mean, but right now, I find I'm not going to waste my money into something that doesn't exist. Like, I mean, think of it this way. I'm looking at, like, to say, the 4K video cards, okay? And I know looking at those, and I was looking at the aspect of those. And I was like, okay, it gives me another percentage to work towards. Like, I'm already using a 3070 video card. And it's not hard for me to get money or anything like that to a point. But I'm looking at exactly what it is. And like I said, when I'm looking at exactly what it is with the new cards, I've got no use for them right now. Because there is nothing that goes solid 4K. If you can tell me how many games is actually in 4K, and you tell me if it's actually worth upgrading a video card to that style, then I will actually go out and buy it. Like, I mean, there is good 4Ks of the 3070, 3080, and 3090. There's not much into the 20K series, like the 2060, 2070, 2080, and 2090. I had a 2070 at the very beginning, and like I said, I wasn't even getting the frames and stuff like that for ray tracing and stuff like that for Cyberpunk. Now, I do get close to, I'd be getting 58 to close to 60 odd frames and spots, when I was only getting 40 odd with the lower card. So, like, I mean, and I don't overclock my stuff. I could overclock it just to boost it a little bit, but I don't change the clock speeds or anything like that. So, like, I mean, I'd rather go out and buy the newer hardware instead of me going out and try to actually to shorten the lifespan of a video card. Because video cards is still the most expensive thing to actually add to a computer. Like, I mean, if you got to replace them a lot just because you're overclocking and stuff like that, it's not good. So that's exactly what I look at. Like, I mean, I look at exactly what's out there now, what's supported, and what's not supported. Like, they're only, right now, only getting into some of the 4K on console, but it's not enough. There might be only a handful of games in 4K yet. And I mean a handful. Even though they do boast, hey, we support 4K, and then all of a sudden you buy this brand new piece of gear, and you're actually wasting your money at the beginning, because time you actually come up with enough 4K, it's already old school. Like, I mean, to that point. And I mean, your video card is already old school, because it's already basically broken, or something that doesn't work right on it, or whatever the case may be. And that's exactly what I look at. I look at that type of concept. And, like, I mean, I look at the games. Like, I mean, I look at Cyberpunk. I look at all different ones that's coming out that does support the 4K resolution. And I look at exactly how many frames and stuff that my ray tracing in that drops. If I'm using DLSS, I'm using all that stuff. And I want to know exactly what my standing is for my my frame rates and stuff like that. So I know what's coming up in the future. Instead of me going out, like I said, to buy the latest card and hoping and praying that they're coming out with more, basically the 4K software. Because there's not much out there right now. Even though 4K has been around for a good few years, but it's not enough to go along and spend 4 or 5, let's say another about $2,000 for a video card. There's nothing warrant that right now, and I'm not going to go in and spend that much money. Not, like I said, not just because of the hype and stuff like that under there. And that's exactly what I look at. I look at all the industries and stuff like that now as trying to make money on something and try to give people false hope of actually something that's going to up and coming. Yes, it's there. It's there in the games, in certain ones, but it's not enough games out there to support me to go in and spend that much money. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. How are you doing, DEFCON? And welcome to the stream. I was hopefully, if you had time enough today or tonight, You play some Valheim or something like that. Basically, I've got my character up to the Sword and Shield now. I'm actually starting to build up on that. I've got a tier 2, tier 3 piece of gear. I've been working on a lot of stuff. I've been working on with the mechanics in that game too. I'm just not streaming it. I'm not going to start streaming that until I actually start playing with you guys, because I love playing with you guys. That's the reason why I bought the game in the first place. So I'm going to have some more diversity and stuff like that and be able to do it that way. Because there's not many PC games that I have. And of course, when it comes to next month, I'm going to basically pick up the other 2 games. What was it called? Conan. I've already got it for console, but I want to pick up Conan for PC, and so on and so forth. So basically, I can actually take what the repertoire you've got and what other people got too, and I can be able to mix and match between the between the few games, and then I can actually add more to it as I go. But right now, I have nothing to actually fall back up on PC. Like, I've got Biomutant, I've got Doom, Doom Eternal. I got a few games on there, but not a lot of multiplayer games. So it's like I've got to find something else to actually play itself. Like, I mean, I love playing with people. Like, I mean, Trove is not a people game, to a point. Only for certain aspects in the game, and that's just it. And once those aspects are gone for that day or whatever the case may be, that's just it. Like, I mean, a Trove is more of a solo game when it comes to the end game. Like, I mean, unless you're doing delves, or, like I said, delves you can still do solo, but what I'm saying is you can do it for the purple day with people and so on and so forth, so you can be able to get the higher numbers and so on and so forth. And like I said, you'd be able to do it that way. But it's so little multiplayer into Trove. Like, you end up basically doing a lot of stuff on your own, because you do it more efficiently on your own. Like, if I'm actually out there with people, like I said, I don't mind helping people out. Don't get me wrong. I'm after doing that lots of times in the past. But there's only a certain limit. And this is another thing too. Like, I mean, just grinding on your own, it just gets kind of monotonous after a point of time. And like I said, that's why sometimes I do a short stream, or like I said, if the Trove only gives me a short stream, I'll deal with the software. I'm also dealing with what I've got to deal with, like, I mean, playing together and stuff like that. Like, I mean, it's just something that I look forward to. Like, I mean, I used to play Red Alert 2 with a guy from the UK. We played that for years. And I mean, for years. I've got Red Alert 2, I've got Renegade, I've got everything on my computer. Like I said, and it's a lot of fun playing together. But playing solo, it's no. Like, I mean, after you do like the campaign and so on and so forth, building your troops and stuff up, and then you're basically doing it that way, it just gets kind of monotonous. And that's exactly what I look at. Like, I mean, different games has basically a good multiplayer function, and there's games out there that has good single player function. Even like I said, a lot of people think like with the MMO that you actually need a party constantly, or there's something antisocial that you're doing it solo. But not necessarily. It doesn't work that way. What it is, it's more to do with the overall aspect of basically when you actually play the game itself and you get up to a certain point. Like, I mean, you're trying to get all, like, say, right now I'm getting cores, I'm getting everything like that. But you get up to a certain point where the game just becomes, well, basically you get overpowered. First off, this is exactly what happens to Trove. You get overpowered where basically you're outrunning everybody else. Nobody else can keep up with you unless they're basically in the same category as you, and so on and so forth. And like I said, if I'm in Uber 11 and you're in Uber 9, And like it'd be like, man, I can't catch up to you. I can't get up to you. I can't do anything. Well, I can try to help you to get there. But the only problem is there is that much gap. There's so much PR gap. There's so much whatever. And it's just like it stalls of basically trying to play together. And like, I mean, that's why I said, like, with a lot of new players and stuff like that popping on here, yes, they might get their PR a little bit faster. They might do whatever, but they're still that much far behind. And people don't realize that when they actually play Trove. Like, I mean, Trove is actually a fun game to play. It is a fun MMO, but you'll end up basically doing about, like I said, about 80% of the game solo. Because if you're doing the grind and stuff like that, like, I mean, all people do then is try to give you a little extra damage. Like, if you do play together, they do give you off a little bit extra damage, or you end up basically doing nothing. And I mean, no damage, no nothing. So they end up basically just leeching off you, which basically kind of makes the game a little bit boring for them as well. And there's no learning curve in that point. So that's exactly why I do what I do. And why I do the way I do it itself. Like, I mean, it's not that I'm actually being rude to people and not saying, oh, I know I can not help you today. I can not do this and that. This is why I say to people, I go along, and if you are a brand new player that's coming into the scene, and I see you on global. Now, I don't see it too often anymore, but I do see it from time to time when someone goes along and asks me for help. Or not asking me directly for help, but asking for help and saying, like I said, I need to be able to have a hand with this, or I don't understand this, and whatever case may be. It's no good coming to my stream and say, hey, do you have items? Do you have whatever? Because I don't know what console you're on. I don't know where you're to. I don't know where nothing is when it comes to that. And it's so randomized to people coming into the stream and asking that. Now, I can't see there's a problem with that, but I mean, if you're on PC and you're coming on and ask me that, and I'm on PS5, I can't. There's no crossplay, so I cannot come along and just go along and just drop and say, okay, I can help you. The only way I can help you then is through my YouTube channel, which basically explains everything in the game. Like, I mean, I've got so much stuff broken down in the game, it's not even funny. And I got the game where basically everything is explained. So you can actually understand how to play the game and better yourself if you are on a different console or different whatever. I wish there was crossplay in this game. I would wish that big time. I've said that before in one of my videos. Like, I mean, there's no crossplay. There is no crossplay support. So there's no really player support. If you are stuck on the PlayStation 5, you're stuck on the PlayStation 5. If you're stuck on PC, you're going to be stuck on PC. And that's exactly how it works. So, like, I mean, it's just basically separating gamers is pretty much what it does. And those people I would love to help. I even said to before, I do have a PC account, but there's only one problem. It's too low for me to actually even support. I go on the PTS server with it once in a while, and that's the only thing I can do with it. But you only need a little bit of PR just to get a character to level 5 and be able to do it that way. That's the only thing you need. Anything else between that is just, yeah. So that's exactly what I did with my character itself, and that's exactly why I did it. So I can actually get the information and stuff like that to do basically more YouTube videos and stuff like that, and be able to get that information. Now, you gotta remember, next week, guys, I will tell you this. There's going to be an Halloween event starting up. So I have your credits and stuff ready for the event. Have at least about 1 million flux, because you're going to need it. And you'll be able to buy some stuff or whatever the case may be. And you'll be able to grab as much stuff as you can for this event. And this is a little bit of heads up to you guys, to new players and also returning players. Basically, when the event do start, because the Halloween event will start at the 24th, 25th. It will be actually good for 2 weeks. And once it's in full swing. Now, I might be mistaken a little bit with the date, but it will be happening within this next week. So, like I said, just be ready for basically spending your credits, getting those mounts and getting those other things as well. So you'll be able to be ready for getting those credit pouches and stuff like that off people if you never already started. And I would recommend that basically, you got to remember, it's one event every month. So, but it's major events every 3 months. So, like, I mean, you got Easter, you got Christmas, you got all that, Thanksgiving, and so on and so forth. So, you got those events itself. They don't run together, mind you me. Basically, what it is, it's just more to do with the basically getting mastery and stuff like that, and be able to get that ball rolling itself for your own self, so you'll be able to get those levels. And that's exactly what I'm basically mentioning right now. So if you don't have enough credit pouches and stuff like that, I would recommend those. Try to get those as much as possible, and see exactly what you can do. Like, I mean, if you got to get extra flux, you got to get different things. I would recommend doing so because, like I said, it's a lot of mastery in those events. If you don't have the mastery now, like, I mean, it's going to be a lot harder just to get that 800 even, because it's going to take you forever. But like I said, if you know how to use the market, you know how to use the farming material methods and stuff like that, you'll be able to grab those. Just exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm saving up for the events. I've got almost 1.25 million flux right now. I've got 6K credits already. I'm already basically ready for this event. Once it drops, and I'll be able to grab the stuff, everything that's available. Now, I'm actually still working on a few things too as well. Like, I mean, I'm still working on the market mastery, and I'm working on some of that stuff. But see, the market mastery is not going to change that much. And funniest thing is, like I said, that's why sometimes you'll actually just wait for the price to drop on certain things, or whatever the case may be. And like I said, some people just puts up a price because they're trying to follow the trend of the price. And that's exactly what happens. Or they end up basically buying it for cheaper and flipping it so many times, not even funny. And then you're actually paying a top dollar for it. So it's just one of those things when it comes to that. But yeah, like, I mean, that's exactly what I'm looking at right now currently. I'm looking at trying to get not the stuff that drops in the game, not stuff that drops from, like I said, inside the delves for the events. I'm looking at stuff that basically you get to spend real money into without spending real money. So, like I said, that's why I say with credit pouches and stuff like that, just to make sure you've got enough to push off the event, because your master will jump a lot. That's why I'm so high a master myself, because I don't worry about these little nitpick things. It just it don't really matter to me in that direction. I look at if I'm missing an event majorly, and if I'm missing like the packs and stuff like that, I'd rather have the packs, just because of the fact it's so much mastery underneath, and that's just it. And like, I mean, when it comes to that, like, I mean, I will be doing, like I said, a lot of other stuff now with my PC. I'll be able to be able to do some Origindra games and stuff. I want to be able to not make everything Origindra. I want to be able to still have like these little fun games where basically it's fun grinding and stuff like that, and be able to even go back to Diablo 3. Like I say, Diablo is kind of not so good on console, but I know it's still happening on PC. So, like, I mean, I'll be able to support PC gamers and stuff like that in that direction. So, like I said, I'll be able to use my console to support everybody. And that's exactly what I'm going to be thinking about doing. As I said, just a little bit different streamer. And like I said, trying to actually make stuff work in that direction. So yeah, I'm just working on that, trying to see exactly what's out there and what's not. So like I said, when it comes to my streams and stuff like that, you'd be like, oh, this is what he's doing right now. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I want to be able to actually just have more content and stuff like that, because I'd rather have mixed content to a point, but not too mixed, because I know what was going to happen if I do it that way. People are like, oh man, this game this game, no. I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen that way. So I'm looking at basically doing it in a way so I can actually still have fun with the games that I'm thinking about playing. I can squeeze in some of that horror genre because I know there's a lot of people that plays horror games, and I mean most of the community that I'm part of right now does play those horror games, and that's exactly what I want to get into. And I want to find out exactly like the titles that they're playing, but I want to stay away from Dead by Daylight. It's just that I want to be able to get into like the old classic, like the classics like Silent Hill, freaking Resident Evil, and so on and so forth. I want to get real jump scare games, not something that's like it. And I'll say ick, and from my own opinion, and just because there's not much to the game. Like I said, just running around and hopefully you don't get hooked, you know. But that's exactly why I look at Dead by Daylight. That's the reason why I don't play it. It's just too much. It's not too much repetitive. It just gets tiresome over time. It's fun to play, yeah, with people. I can't say like I said, a lot of online games is really fun to play with people. But it just that I don't look for the basic of horror games and try to play them. It's just not my cup of tea. Like, I mean, I love to be able to walk into a room and fucking see a freaking shadow in the mirror. And I'm looking at the shadow, and it's actually following me to a point, and it disappears. And then you're like, oh my God, is that coming after me, or what is it doing? And that might never do anything at all. And that's the things that's what got people into horror pictures back in the 80s. People be like looking at it now and looking at all the, like I said, the blood and stuff like that into it or something like that. But they don't look at all the small details. They don't look at all the little tiny nuances in the videos itself. They'd be like, oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's exactly the type of games I'm looking for, and so on and so forth. Like, I mean, I just need a better headset. I'm trying to get a wireless one. I've got one. I've already got one for my PlayStation 5, but I'm looking for another one for just for PC, because the one I had wireless, it's basically like I said, for the charger cord and stuff, is all gone. The charger cord is outdated because it's using the PlayStation 2 charger cord, so I got to get a new one. I'm hopefully trying to get something that has the USB-C on it, so I can have quicker charging and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. I know there's a lot of them out there that does have that, and so on and so forth. So that's exactly what I'm trying to get my hands on. I know it's harder to get a direct PC headset. I don't mean a good one, and not just something that's like all metal plastic and everything else. I had Turtle Beaches and stuff like that was all metal plastic. They just fall apart. You could just be lying back or whatever the case may be, or just having them there, just hanging in the back of your chair. And the next time you actually pick it up, this just basically all falls apart on you because of such low poor quality of headset. Like, I mean, right now I'm actually using. I'll tell you exactly the ones I'm using for PlayStation 4. Well, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, which is actually a real good headset, but I don't know if you can buy them anymore. They're actually Turtle Beaches, and I'll tell you exactly what they are. Give me a second. Basically, yeah, they're the Recon 200, but they're only made. They're a wired. This says wired headset, but they're actually also wireless. Basically, you can take the wire off of them, and basically, what it is, it's wired to your controller, but it's a battery boost for sound. So basically, you get like all these sounds and stuff from higher end headsets without paying up the nose for them. And that's exactly what I was looking at. It's still about it's still $100 headset, but it actually has the steel bands and stuff like that around the headpiece, which I find a lot harder to get nowadays. And I find they do last quite a bit longer because they're not falling apart and they're not getting loose around your head and stuff like that. And they're not, like I said, not a cheesy knockoff. Like, I mean, it's not all metal plastic like a lot of them are today. Like, I mean, I like to have a bit of metal into them because, like I said, it gleams around the headset, like around the headrest and stuff like that. Because, like I said, I can still adjust them and stuff like that. I can actually adjust it to my own head size and keep the head size and stuff like that. You cannot do that with plastic. There's no way. There is so much diversity by using the metal ones or metal construct ones. And there's a big, huge difference in that. Now, you're going to get roughly the same sound quality as with these as you would get with the higher ends. They're not bad at all. But what I'm getting at is just more to do with the quality of build. The quality of build for your headset and stuff like that. You'll be able to go in and basically just to have something that's going to last you for years. The last time I actually spent, I think it was like $55 in Winners. Well, like I said, our Winners store here. I paid about less than $70 for a headset. It lasted me 2.5, almost 3 years because, like I said, it had basically one of those metal mesh, like I said, kind of like wires going around, like the two going around the back, basically for head support. It wasn't full steel. It was actually like kind of like a mesh headband right in the center of it. It was actually a really nice, comfortable headset, but it was actually still metal. What was it? It was called Plaza Steel. It was kind of like a very flexible steel metal. And I loved those to death. Like, I mean, for me, for what I paid for them and how long it lasted me, it was only pennies. And I mean pennies. Like, I mean, I bought, like I said, $150, $250 headsets that I was only replacing every 6 to 8 months. Now, I was never harsh with my gear because I know, like, I mean, when it comes to that. Like I said, with my headsets and stuff like that, I always basically handle them on a back of a chair or something, so it can actually be there, or just using the mic stands and stuff like that. So nothing is there to basically get tangled or anything like that, or causing it to have too much stress, and so on and so forth. So, like, I mean, this is the stuff that I'm after doing before. But that's exactly what I'm saying. I basically spent so much money in headsets, and I said, screw this. I can't do it anymore. Like, I mean, I don't know how many people actually go through that. Like, I mean, yes, I've got a mic from actually $170 headset. Yes, I got the mic. The headset is just basically blowing. Like the speakers and stuff is fine. It's just you can't put it on your head anymore because where the adjusters and stuff like that is all metal plastic, they're all snapped. I had to glue them many times over. I said, screw this. I can't do this anymore. I'm not going to waste my money into something that's poorly done. Especially if you're doing a serious gamer thing, and you're trying to actually do streams and stuff like that, and you're basically constantly picking up your headset, and basically, or even taking breaks in between. Let's say if you want to go and watch a movie or something like that, or you're doing whatever. And I'm not actually putting an ad out for Turtle Beach, but, like, I mean, Sony has some good ones too. Like, I mean, PlayStation 3 headsets, like the older ones, were actually better than a lot of other things too that they actually come out with after. Like, I mean, without having, like, staying with the brand name, but look at the build quality of it, and that's exactly how you save money. Like, instead of spending out and spending out and spending out. Now, over time, like everything else, if it's wireless or wired, you can actually be able to still, like I said, even with wired, you still be able to have them for years. Like, I mean, you gotta remember, you have to, like I said, maintain, see your headsets and stuff like that. If the battery or something goes in them or something like that. And like I said, it's not hard to do. Like, I mean, basically you take the battery out. And some of them you can't take the battery out. Like, I mean, they're basically, there's no screws or nothing, not too many screws into them or whatever. Or basically the compartment is basically welded together or glued together or whatever the case may be. Once you take them apart, you can't put them back together. Basically, that's what happens to the cheaper headsets. But I find that, like I said, with the sound qualities and stuff like that, you don't have to spend a fortune on them, and you got to look at exactly what you have. Like I said, the sound quality you're looking for. You're looking at not just your microphone. You're looking at the overall sound quality. If you go with the cheap stuff like that, that's available. Sometimes even, like, I mean, you'll have mic drops and so on and so forth. You'll have like a lot of static. You'll have a lot of issues with them, and I find that happens quite a bit. Now, I find with these type of headsets that I do buy from time to time, even though they're roughly about $100, sometimes, like I said, your audio jack will actually get a little bit crowded. What you do is just use a thing called Brasso, and what it is, it'll go along and make a recontact, and it'll clean up the contacts for you. But you only use that as an extreme emergency, because you don't want to use a lot of that. You can check it up. They're online itself. You can basically Google what Brasso is and basically go through there. It's kind of like a liquid that you can actually apply to a soft cloth, and basically you can end up buffing like brass items and stuff like that. There is also Silvio. Silvio is basically made for silver and so on and so forth. But I find Silvio is basically really extremely heavy, so I wouldn't recommend that at all. But, I mean, there is different things that you can actually use to maintain your gear, and that's something I actually looked at before. Like I said, just doing it that way. So, like, I mean, I love trying to maintain my stuff because, of course, like I said, if you're a gamer, you're not really making nothing with your channel, or you're doing something different. You want to try to find out exactly the ways to save money. Like, I mean, that's exactly what you got to do. Like, I mean, that's why I've got so much gear myself, because I learned how to save money over the years and be able to maintain my gear pretty decently. So, like I say, when it comes to that, like, I don't know if that information will help you guys, like, when it comes to the buying this stuff or whatever the case may be. But it's better than going along and spending like extra $200 on a headset, and you're not really getting like that much better quality. And sometimes and a lot of times you don't, because think of it this way: like, if you've got mics and headsets and stuff like that, the technology only changes so much, and then it gets redundant. Like, you've got JBLs out there, you got everything. JBLs are actually nice, but they got, like I said, they got their enthusiast sets. They got like all the lower end stuff. And like I said, if you got a set of like that type of thing, you better go in and actually use those and so on and so forth. But like, I mean, you go with the brand that you're used to itself, and look for the best. Like I said, they look for the best build quality for the price range. And a lot of people, when you go out and shop, like I said, that's something that you would actually miss because of that reason. And like, I mean, I look at all the stuff that I used over the years and all of my gear, and I love dealing with what I deal with, because I'm like, okay, I could go along and buy this, and this will help me. Okay, and when I'm actually doing it that way, I'm looking at exactly what it is itself. And of course, when it comes to that, I love to be able to look at exactly how much the price is, if the price is actually worth it, and if it's worth the extra like 2 decibels, like the two extra little bit, because your decibels and stuff like that will actually allow you to pick up a little bit more sound. But sometimes that stuff is actually redundant, because like I said, it's just one of those things. Like, I mean, if you're already picking up like a gun and you can actually hear all the ammo and stuff being picked up, and you can hear something in the background, or you can hear the stuff that's around you. That means you got a pretty good, decent headset. That means you're picking up all the THX sounds. You're picking up, well, even the Turtle Beaches that I'm using, I actually can do that. They're actually designed that way. And it's weird because people be like, no, it doesn't sound right. But that's why it's boosted. It's not just a normal headset. Like, I mean, with the boost that's in it, like, I mean, I get better sound quality. That's why I said I get better sound quality from having the battery. The battery, like I said, lasts about 40 hours, which is not bad. And it's only for boosting sound. Now, it does require for the battery to be charged to get the sound. Don't get me wrong. But the only thing is, it's a really, really good gaming headset because of the way it's built. But, like, I mean, that's not telling people how to spend their money, but it's a wise thing to go by because there's a lot of companies just trying to get the bang for their buck off of you. Like, they'll come up with massive products and stuff like that. And the funniest thing is, that's where they make their money because they'll be like, okay, we can make a lower quality piece of gear and basically make you spend for it. And spend that much more, and they'll basically lower the quality. Sony is known really bad for that. Like, I mean, they'll go along and make okay, if you ever got a set of earbuds, okay, they'll basically come up with a set of earbuds. They'll charge you $150, and then you'll find about a year later they're down $30. Because what happens is not just the marketing of new items. It's just that they want to overinflate it to make money, and then they'll basically drop the price because they already made the money on that product. So, like, I mean, it's the same thing with headsets and stuff like that for gaming, for gamers and stuff like that. It does make a difference. It does make a complete lot of difference. Like, I mean, think of it this way. Technology, like I said, when it comes to headsets and stuff like that, they don't change much. Like, I mean, there is a difference between the quality of them. Yes, I'm not saying that. But for what price range you want to spend for that quality, that's all up to you. You know? Like, I mean, if you want to get the latest and greatest out there and you got the money, go for it. Like, I mean, for me, no, I wouldn't. Just because it might be just a little bit better, or it might be poor quality, or it might be just like all metal plastic. But then you're paying $300-400 for a piece of plastic. It's just cheaper to buy at the cheaper headsets, as long as you've got a good mic and good sounding, than going out and spending a fortune. Because you can replace it many times over of the same headset, and so on and so forth, that you would normally pay for the higher priced ones. So think about it. When you actually go out and buy anything for the future, like I said, it could be, like, I mean, controllers and stuff, you can't really choose from there. You can get, like, the Bionics and stuff like that. You can get all the knockoffs. Because sometimes you're forced excuse me, you're forced to do that. You're forced to do that because they don't make the original controllers and stuff anymore. That's the only reason why you wouldn't want to buy a third party. But if you can still buy the originals, best to buy the originals because of the fact that you get a better response. You get a lot more better build quality sometimes, and do it that way. But anyway, regardless of that, this is basically the Gamersmith signing out for now. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the information that I give today, and hopefully be able to see you again. Peace out for now, guys. Have fun to do what you do, and hopefully catch you in the next one. Laters.